You will not believe the changes Jon Rahm made to his Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver just weeks before the Masters, allowing him to tie 4th in driving accuracy, tie 5th in driving overall, and of course claim the coveted green jacket. Hi everyone, my name's James Robinson, welcome to the channel. Today I'm making that change to my Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver. Spoiler alert, I have been in the studio, I've tested this change for numbers. It is revolutionary, but it's also so simple. You see, all I really want to do is hit long drives down the fairway. I'm not really bothered too much about a green jacket, but I suppose a guy can dream, right? Check this out. And yes, that is the Peter Finch line here on the first at Woolley Park Golf Club. That could well be on the green.
There we go!
Oh that is really good.
Hello!
Guys, make sure you watch this video in its entirety, throw a like on it if you enjoy it, comment below what driver you're using at the moment, and like I said, watch till the end because you're not going to believe the changes that I've made. You see, I actually first saw this story in an episode of Golf Digest. The thing that I like to read quite a lot is full of knowledgeable information and things that help. And for me, I couldn't believe just how simple this change was, just how much of a change it had, and how it resulted in Jon Rahm being the owner of a lovely new green jacket to wear for special occasions, obviously. And you see, in a world where we know just how important small tweaks can be to a driver to help you guys hit the fairway, to help you hit longer drives, and to help you play better golf, it's really refreshing to see that the tour team with a player can make such a small tweak weeks before the biggest tournament of his life, little did he know that, and it makes such a big difference. So what Jon Rahm did was he actually changed his driver from 10.5 degrees to 11.5 degrees. Now you might just think, oh yeah, obviously he wants to hit it higher at Augusta because it's going to land softer, he'll have more control. That's not the reason why he did this, and this is why I wanted to delve into it a little bit more in this video, because I got fitted for this driver in a really low loft, and I've been wrestling with it whether I keep it in the bag or not. Then I saw this article and I thought, well, if it works for Jon with his green jacket, could it work for me? Then I jumped in the studio and then I've just hit that first tee shot, and to be honest, yes, it's not on the green like Peter Finch's was, but that ball is probably on a piece of string and I should be able to make birdie from there. Now, you may all be thinking, James, all he's done is change the loft in his driver, but he won a few weeks before. The Callaway Tour team, they're one of the best tour teams in the world. I was lucky enough to spend some time with them over in California at the start of this year, and for a player to win on tour, and then the tour rep go, you know what, Jon, I think we're better than that. I think we can win more. I think you can enhance your driving stats, you can keep the ball in play more, and you can generally hit better shots. The reason for this is that the driver was spinning too low. So Jon Rahm likes to start the ball on the left, this is what I read on Golf Digest, and cut the ball back. He wasn't able to do that because the ball wasn't spinning enough. So by adding that extra degree of loft, he could get a little bit more spin, have a little bit more control. The spin axis would therefore move the ball more, and it will hit more fairways. And then, long story short, Jon Rahm is tied 4th at the Masters for driving accuracy, tied 5th overall, so that's accuracy and distance, and 1st in the leaderboard, where it all counts. Now, there are obviously cons to doing this. There are cons to upping the loft if you've been fitted to a different loft. This isn't the answer to everyone's problems. I'll go through that in a second when we turn around and hit balls into the wind. But for me, I'm amazed just how I've never thought of it before. It seems so simple, yet I've never done it. And I got fitted, like I said, into a lower loft. I have now got this set up on a higher loft, just like Jon Rahm. And we're gonna have a little bit of a consistency test here. We're gonna hit 3 balls down this second hole. I'm gonna try and play a fade on all of them. I love playing a fade on this hole. You have to just start it over the tree and then fade it back. The wind is downwind, so it's not really helping nor hindering. It does look easier to hit looking down at it with the extra loft as well. I can tell there's just a bit more loft on there to help you maybe start the ball on line more as well, and then obviously that extra spin with the spin axis should help it come back a tiny bit. Now this obviously all depends on where you strike the ball on the face. If you strike the ball low on the face, you're going to get too much spin. You strike it high on the face or on the toe, it's going to be a more low spin shot. Come on, channel in a Rahm. Look at that. Look at that, and it's a lovely kind of flight window as well. That had quite a lot of fade on it. I don't mind that as a shot. I know it's going to come back, although I wouldn't mind starting it maybe a little bit straighter, not having as much on there. Let's see if I can do that. James, slow down. Guys, throw a like on this video if you'd like me to slow down talking. Even out of breath. Get that start line better and just go a little bit straighter, just like... Ooh, nearly ruined it. I nearly ruined it. Oh, that all day. And you see, the Paradigm Triple Diamond is such a good driver. Like, the numbers are so good in testing. I've almost been waiting for this little kind of hack to think, should I put it in the bag for the year? When I've taken it out on the golf course, it's been very hot and cold. I've hit some of the best drives I've ever hit, but I've also hit shots like this.
Oh, he healed it.
That's gone further sideways than forwards.
Yeah. Which isn't necessarily the driver, but it's quite an unforgiving beast if you don't get it right. Right, third and final. I mean, the big thing here is the noise on this as well. It really is gorgeous. Yes, I am taking away, probably not hitting a draw, but if I play a fade all year, like that, that is an absolute knuckleball as well. Like, that is the perfect shot, not just for this hole, but for any hole. If I can aim down the left side and hit that, maybe I can tie 4th in driving accuracy and 5th overall. Probably not, but we'll give it a go. And guys, I know you're all probably wondering, James, why are you doing this outside? Surely this is just a test for inside, to look at numbers, to look at ball speed, to look at spin rate, and to look at those ball flights. And yes, it is very important to look at the numbers if you are trying to change numbers. But realistically, this is the most important place to be out on the golf course. Does it work on the course? Honestly, I am buzzing with this. When I read the article, I was so excited to come and try it. And I tried it inside. I probably wouldn't have made this video if it didn't do anything. Guys, honestly, stay tuned. You're not going to believe the difference. You're really not. And yes, like I said, there are worries with this. If you play kind of gale force wind, if you play links golf, this may not be the tweak for you. But I challenge you guys to try this and just see if it does help you keep the ball in play a little bit more. If you do lose any distance, the distance was quite interesting. Looking at the numbers again, I will show you those very, very soon. But try it, because if it's more forgiving and it kind of helps you get the shot you want, perfect. That is 3 balls in that fairway, by the way. Animal. Now, as we walk down this fairway, I want to show you this. There's 2 of the shots. Perfect position, right hand side of the fairway, lovely, like I said, started left side. And the final shot is that a line ball in real life. We are doing a video testing a driver setting to hit better shots, more consistent shots, straighter shots, in essence more fairways, and we've hit a line ball that's left us about 30 yards into the green. This Callaway Paradigm is I've never been left speechless when testing golf clubs, that's all I'll say. And we're not even getting much run at the moment. That shows you just how far they've actually gone. I love showing you where the pitch just so you can properly work it out. This one pitched here, mind my shadow, sorry, and just went out to the centre line, like we said. Incredible. I am absolutely astonished with how this video is going. I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect it to go this well, to be this helpful or this interesting. We definitely don't need the one iron with it as well. Guys, let's jump in the studio. Let me explain just what happened when I was in there that really did leave me dumbstruck. Then let's test this driver into the wind with the new Loft. We'll crank it down as well. We'll see just how much difference there is when doing so. Is this a tweak that you might do just for certain days, or is it a tweak for life? So guys, I took this Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver into the studio, and no surprise, I was hitting bombs with it from the get-go. I've really enjoyed testing and using this club this year. For me, ball speed wise, it's just a lot better really than anything else that I have tested. The only problem that I found was that I would hit these shots where they just stayed left, maybe dipped out the air a little bit. And when that's on the golf course, it's quite hard to get. Then you hit one of those that sneaks right, you start to think maybe this isn't the most forgiving club for me. Then as you can see, I put more loft on it, so I changed it up to a 10-degree loft with a neutral face setting. Really easy to do with that adjustable key. And all of a sudden, the shots just seem to fade a little bit back. Now, I was trying to play a fade with all these shots because that's the shot that Jon Rahm does play so well. And you can see there, didn't quite catch that one. It still carried like 277 in the air and ran up to 300 yards. That, for me, is the holy grail. Even that one there, that was a little bit blocky. That's the only one that I did hit right, and it still went quite well. We then started to scatter them around that centre line, just like we did out on the golf course. And for me, this has made quite a big difference. And I don't know if it's changed how I approach the swing because it looked a little bit more forgiving, but it certainly did perform quite a lot better. And you can see this last shot here in particular was just an absolute bomb. This was the longest of the day by far, and it's still trying to fade back at the end there towards that centre line. That, for me, is a fantastic driver. You look at these numbers that I show you here, I couldn't quite believe it. 163 ball speed, spinning just over 2,000. We look at the two differences. So the red is the standard, and the green, Masters green, is Jon Rahm's. I got more ball speed with Rahm spec. I got a higher launch. I got more spin, so more control. And the carry distances were exactly the same on average. You look at the dispersion there, the green ones, we had 3 pretty much right by the centre line, and there was only 1 really that was a bit of a miss compared to the red ones. How good could this be for my game, your game, and the Masters Champions game? So there we go. Just how interesting was that? Just how good were those numbers, and especially that dispersion if you're wanting to keep the ball more in play. Right, we're into the wind here. We've got it set 10.5 like I said. Then we're going to crank it all the way down to 8.5. You've got 4 degrees of difference here that you can do. So most people would say, oh, when it's breezy, I'm going to crank it down, see if I can just get that ball a little bit more under the wind. But if I can just play a nice controlled shot, that extra spin doesn't really hurt me too much. The main thing is keeping it in play in conditions like this. Like that. That's the perfect fade. Yes, it's going to be a slightly longer shot in than normal, but this hole's playing into the wind. It's 410 yards. That's flown the mound. The big thing that I see here is that I don't feel like I can hit it left. And disclaimer alert, I'm swinging good today for me. If I was swinging more erratically, this test might not have made as much sense. But is that an omen? Is it a sign? Should I be wearing green? Probably not, but... Right, let's flip this up and let's get this loft down a bit. It's 10, sorry, not 10.5. I got that wrong, but we'll have it set standard there, +1 and neutral. Perfect. No, that's where we've just been, you idiot. -1 and neutral. We'll have this. So this will now play 8 degrees of loft up if we keep it nice and square. There we go. So you can see that is now playing 8 degrees of loft, neutral face angle. And I'm going to keep everything else consistent. I'm going to keep the tee height consistent. I'm going to try and hit that same fade starting left up the middle. If this goes even better, then wow. Oh, it's a lot lower. It's a lot lower, and you see it's not moved. That's flirting with the bunker. I think that might have skipped out of the fairway bunker. It was still a good shot. The numbers would have been good. It would have been low spin. It would have flown out there. But this just proves everything the Callaway Tour staff have been saying to Jon Rahm. I'd love to speak to Jon Rahm about this and see if it was his idea or the Tour staff's idea. And to be honest, I'm going to change this back now because there's no way that's staying at 8 degrees. And I'm the kind of person who would forget I've set that 8 degrees, come out without a key, and spend a day with a driver that I just can't hit very well. You're going back to 1 degree more. I really think this works. And you know what? That's gone. Because we don't need it anymore. Save me making a fool of myself. Let's go. Okay, I'll put it in the garage. We don't want to litter. Now, if I could sum this video up in 1 shot, or 2 shots, this would be it. This was the higher loft trying to play the fade, like that. Bang in the middle of the fairway yet again, and this was the shot with the lower loft. It didn't quite fade for me. It was very lucky. It was a lot lower. If we look up there now, you'll see it has pitched in the bunker and somehow managed to get out on the lip, and the higher loft has gone further. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you've enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you all at exactly the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.